Raise your hand if you've ever played a sport. Wow, huge number. So, what differentiates a swimmer standing in a line from the others? They're all standing at the edge of the pool. What differentiates a swimmer standing in a line preparing for what could be the most significant event of their life? They all have similar resources, they all follow strict dietary regimens, and yet some emerge victorious over the others. Why is that? The answer to it is the mindset of a peak performer. Consider yourself standing at the edge of a pool, looking down at the depth of the water, thinking about what your 50 meter, 100 meter, 400, 200, 1,500 meter race is going to look like. Whether you're sprinting or you're going for a long distance swim, your mental preparation and how you're going to pave through the water changes the way you perform. I was once standing at the edge of the pool. I was looking down, my heart was racing, as it is right now, and when I was looking down the water, my mind was in a turmoil of anticipation. Anticipation how the next few seconds of my life are going to probably alter the course of how my professional journey as a swimmer changes. When you're in the water, there are multiple things that you think about. Firstly, the mindset of a swimmer, or any athlete for that matter, is different when in training and when you're actually in a competition or a tournament. While you're training, you have a lot of trivial concerns that bug you. It could be how cold is the water, or is the chlorine exposure too much today, is it going to wreck my hair? Am I going to have red eyes at the end of this swim today? These trivial concerns are the least of your priorities when you're swimming in a competition. When you're there, you're only thinking about how the technical challenges or the technical errors can be avoided. These technical challenges could be how when you dive into the pool and your goggles clog up with chlorine water, blurring your vision and you can't look ahead. What if you get a cramp mid-race? That can stagger your pace and completely ruin your performance. So a lot of that plays a role in the peak performer's mindset. So a peak performer is someone who is determined, who is resilient, who perseveres through it, in the face of adversity. A little tool that I used when I was performing in nationals was visualization. Which visualization helped me mentally rehearse every movement that I'm going to do, before the race, after the race, and especially during the race. Before the race, I was outside the water. When the timekeeper calls out your name and says, blows the whistle for you to enter the pool, he signals you to hold on to the bar. This might not make a sense to a lot of you because I'm talking about a stroke which starts in the water, backstroke. Unlike other strokes where you dive from on the block, which is out of the pool, backstroke is a stroke that is done from inside. I grab onto the bar. This is all the visualization process. I'm holding onto the bar. I pull myself up out of the water enough to feel the cold air or the breeze that's running by. And I think about arching my back into the perfect dive, and I think about how I'm going to emerge out of the water right after my dolphin kick ends. The strokes that are going to propel me through the 50 meter and then the 50 meter that follows. These are all small elements which a lot of athletes use while they're performing, whatever sport. It's not just in athletics where you can use peak performance or that mindset. It can be applicable, it is applicable in life, in multiple domains. I would like to take a few examples of great sports people who have persevered and shown a peak performer's mindset. Firstly, Serena Williams. She is a worldwide known tennis player. She suffered from a lot of issues and health concerns. These health concerns led her to take breaks from her career, which staggered her pace, but at the end, she persevered. So a major example of her life event would be the pulmonary embolism which she suffered. When that happened, she went through extensive rehabilitation, she showed a lot of grit, and she worked her way through. She was back dominating the game, owning the court as she should. And the second example I would like to take is Bethany Hamilton. She is a professional surfer, but at the age of 13, she was faced with a major life event, a shark attack. A shark attack which led her to lose her left arm. And the left arm that she lost did not stop her from continuing her profession as a surfer. This story has been an inspiration to many people in the field of sports, in the field of medicine, in the field of business. Lastly, I would like to talk about Derek, who was a British sprinter. In the 1992 Summer Olympics, he tore his hamstring. The tear of a hamstring mid-race is what is important. A lot of sports people face injuries, but not many face them during the race. He faced one right as he was finishing. Yet, if anyone here knows how painful a tear in a hamstring can be, you would know that it's excruciatingly painful. You cannot move an inch without feeling every ounce in your body. So what did he do? His father hopped onto the ring and he helped him finish the race. He hobbled to the finish line, and that is what shows that he is a peak performer. A peak performer's mindset is not competing with the other participants. It's about beating yourself. It's finishing what you started, and that is what he did. So I would like to take you through my journey. My journey began in 5th grade. Until 5th grade, swimming lessons were a compulsion. You had to attend them, but I couldn't. My stomach went in knots every time I went close to the pool, or my breath would go uneven every time I entered the water. More importantly, my coach. He saw this pattern in me over multiple years, and he said, you know what, it's your last year. Give it a shot. And I did. I gave it a shot, and here I am today because of him. He taught me the foundations and the principles of swimming, and he's forever my lifelong coach, not just in swimming, outside the pool as well, and I'm forever grateful for that. In 5th grade, he taught me the basic lessons when I stayed back after school for multiple hours. He taught me how to dive, he taught me how to float, he taught me every single thing that I know today in swimming. In 6th grade, the first competition that I took part in happened, and over there I immediately bagged almost half a dozen medals. Right after I did that, I understood that swimming is something that I can go further into. This motivated me to practice and train for nationals, and I did that. Over the course of 3 to 4 years after that, right before COVID, I trained for nationals. And a number which is going to look very insignificant to everyone changed my life. 0.01 seconds. That was the difference between me and the person who got to go to nationals that year. She was a senior of mine who had been training just as hard, and she was fortunate enough to go and play that year. 0.01 is the number which put me behind the bar, the reason I couldn't participate that year. But that I'm grateful for, because a year right after, COVID happened, which unfortunately led to a series of bad events for me, which was staying back and not being able to swim for 2 years because of the availability. And right after COVID is when I thought I'll give it one last shot, because I have 2 years left in my high school journey, and I did. I gave it that last shot that it deserved. I trained early mornings, I trained late evenings, and with the help of my 3 coaches, who I'm still remembering till date as I stand here, I was able to get selected for nationals. And once I did get selected for nationals, I went, played, and I got a couple of medals, as the speaker would have mentioned. So I want to talk about the peak performer's mindset outside of sports. It's not about competing, it's about understanding that there's a scope for improvement. The second you realize that you're a perfection, you've lost the peak performer's mindset. It's because you realize that you don't need to work any harder. You've reached your peak. But actually a peak performer is a constant journey, a journey of learning. And when you learn, you understand that there's so much more. There's world records in every state, there's world records in the world. Beating those records, there are people that break them every single day. So make your own records and beat your own records. You don't have to compete with anyone else because it's your life and you want to peak in it. Thank you.